It's finally here, guys. I'm so excited. A worthy opponent for Saitama.
What did he say?
Yeah, that's right. With the release of chapter 165 of the One Punch Man manga, Saitama has finally encountered an opponent worthy of his time in the form of Garou's new cosmic form. I know what you're all thinking, but ABD, Saitama can't lose. There's nobody on the same level as him. You're just clickbaiting me again, you dumb bitch. Alright, I just called myself a bitch.
Ooh, self-burn. Those are rare.
Let me explain. This chapter is worth all the hype in the world, so you know exactly what time it is. It's time to go Baldy! The chapter starts off by explaining how Garou has managed to evolve Bang's technique. The water stream smashing rock fist is a technique that uses the understanding of tidal waves and similar energies that helps the user to channel the same flow throughout their body. Garou extended this ability by copying other people's flows and attacking them with it. We have even witnessed in this fight against Saitama, he copied Saitama's normal punches and he's probably thinking like this.
He copied my whole fucking flow!
But now, Garou has reached a level far greater than any martial artist. Through God's power and blessing, Garou has gained knowledge about the ways energy flows throughout the universe and how different types of forces react to any form of stimuli. This explains his new transformation and why it looks like he is a window into the galaxy, because he has essentially become one with the universe's energy. The first attack he launches is, well, sheer insanity, guys. He called it the all-life eradication fist, nuclear fission. This attack will, you never would have guessed it, it eradicates all life, mate. Except, this is a manga and it doesn't end up eradicating a single life form.
Man, this is some bullshit!
That being said, this punch is still a nuclear bomb. The very impact of this attack can eradicate a city in seconds. And on top of that, it releases nuclear radiation.
Say what?
I'm being serious. We even see a few people inside a ship as the vessel's decontamination system starts to automatically activate due to a nuclear attack warning. This punch wasn't just a one-off explosive shot. The radiation spread through his punch and it will undoubtedly leave its mark on the environment for a long time. Furthermore, the attack continues as several energy spheres form due to the overwhelming amount of energy released. Saitama even said, alright, come on now, guys. Saitama, the one with the big bazonkas, the big coconuts, you know what I'm saying? Yes! Saitama says the energy spheres are the same as the ones Homeless Emperor created, the same divine power bestowed upon him by God, which goes back to what we mentioned in our analysis from the last chapter, that Garou has reached a level of power that we've not seen before in any of Saitama's opponents, as not only has he become one with the energy of the universe through Bang's technique, but he has also taken on God's divine powers that both Homeless Emperor and Saitama use. These spheres then lead to multiple mushroom clouds forming in the air. These, ladies and gentlemen, is what the end of the world looks like. As if this godly art wasn't enough, Murata threw in a gif. Mwah! Like, oh my god!
Say what?
Yeah, there's a gif in a manga. In a freaking manga. This fight is so legendary that Murata had to literally switch mediums to express this.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
We see Garou and Saitama fighting inside this mushroom cloud, created due to Garou's attack. As one would expect, Saitama's mad about his torn clothes. Garou seems a bit annoyed by this, as he says that it is finally time for Saitama to go down. He replies that, oh my god, man, there you go again, spouting lines like a bad guy right before he gets instantly stomped. Garou doesn't care though. He's feeling himself in this new form and starts talking about a martial art technique called Shikai. This technique borrows the power of nature by imitating the movement of living beings. And now Garou shows a new mode of this Shikai where he imitates Saitama. Whilst his face looks hilarious on Garou's body, it is kinda creepy too. Either way, it does manage to get Saitama to be a bit serious because, well, a mode named after him has to be strong, right?
Yes.
The two exchange a flurry of consecutive normal punches that ends in a stalemate. But keep in mind, this whole time Saitama isn't punching with killing intent or even harm. He doesn't want to hurt Garou due to his promise with Tario. Even still, Garou is still confident as he says that Saitama is at a loss of words as Garou is the first being to be on the same plane as our favorite Caped Baldy. Unfortunately for him though, Saitama isn't at a loss for words due to this reason. He's just disappointed that Garou will get hurt and he won't be able to keep the promise. While Saitama is accepting that Garou is strong enough to be taken seriously, Saitama genuinely believes that his half-assed normal punches would be enough to fend off a guy whose punch caused a nuclear alert. That's how far from reality this dude is. That's how strong and limitless Saitama has become. Anyway, Garou decides to step up and launch another attack. This time, a sphere of energy surrounds him and lightning bolts strike outwards. The name of the attack says everything. The attack is called All Eradication Fist, Gamma Ray Burst. And Garou fires off a huge gamma ray on Saitama himself. The manga then explains that a gamma burst is the most powerful explosion in the known universe. It occurs after the life of a massive star ends. This attack was so bright that it shined brighter than the sun and even woke up a few heroes who were unconscious. A gamma ray burst emits the same amount of energy as a supernova, which occurs when a star collapses and bursts over weeks rather than seconds or minutes. Their peak luminosities can be 100 billion times greater than our suns and a billion times more than the brightest supernova. So this pretty much puts Garou's cosmic form at a star buster level. He can easily blow up the entire earth with this cannon, and Saitama doesn't even know that. Yet Saitama still saves everyone on the planet by forcing Garou to aim outwards towards the sky rather than on the surface. Now I'm going to use my degree in anime bullshit science to explain and give you perspective of how insane this feat is. The largest recorded gamma ray burst would shower Earth with the equivalent of 300,000 megatons of TNT, or 30 times the entire world's nuclear arsenal. And the gamma ray and X-ray radiation would deplete the ozone layer, thus causing a mass extinction, which gives reason to the name of the attack that Garou gave it. The funny thing is, all of these insane feats just scale Saitama's strength even further and beyond what we all assumed it to be. We all knew as a fandom and community that Saitama can blow up the entire planet with a single punch, as he confirmed this himself, but since Garou is reaching star buster level and understands the energy in the entire galaxy, that just means Saitama scales on a much higher level if he's tanking those attacks as if nothing happened, like he's Zoro from One Piece. Now guys, I do need your support. In the future we want to make a huge collaboration video with other YouTubers regarding the top 10 strongest characters of One Punch Man. Please hit the notification bell and press the like button to show us you're interested. Moving back to chapter 165, a mime mask confronts Flashy Flash about why he is with a monster. But Flash decides to defend their new one-eyed friend, saying she's just an exotic animal. This shows the influence of Saitama's overwhelming power, as he changed the perspective of Flashy Flash's outlook on monsters and the common black and white outlook most heroes have on them. We see this common phenomena in the manga, where anyone that finds out Saitama's true power, they seem to have a change of heart. Saitama himself adopted the dragon level threat Rover as an animal pet too in the webcomic, so this seems to parallel each other. Moving on, Garou appears right in front of the S-Class heroes. Everybody is literally, and I mean literally, even I would, they are shitting themselves, mate. Even Zombie Man knows that things are going to get real ugly. And Flashy Flash with his, you know, supposedly fastest man on earth, even he's saying we can't run away from this guy. Knowing this, Garou wonders if he has finally become the symbol of fear in all beings, a being that is absolute evil. In the next panel, it seems like Garou is thanking the god that gave him this power, which is extremely concerning, especially considering how God's subjects end up being. Bang asks about the same thing, wondering why his former student expressed gratitude. He asks if a monster did something to him, to which Garou replies, "Not really, I always had my senses." Garou is insane. He saw through God's illusion too, but his abrasive attitude caused him to slap God's hand away, which apparently is enough for God to transfer his power. God says that he's going to make Garou into his avatar, meaning his incarnation, as many others claim to be. Whilst not being able to control Garou does sting him, it doesn't really hurt him. Garou can still wreak havoc, and considering his goals, he will. Garou then recounts how God disappeared as soon as he said this, and suddenly he felt a massive shock run through his body, causing him to almost lose his consciousness. This God didn't even grant the full amount of power he intended to do, but only a small ounce of it. Yet, somehow Garou still became a planet buster with ease, which means this god character definitely seems to scale similar to Saitama and is the final villain of the entire series, which comes full circle to the first chapter where Saitama dreams about finally having a worthy opponent. Garou then thanks Bang for his teachings, as he cites those to be the sole reason behind him seeing through God's facade. He mentions how Bang said that a martial artist should feel the flow and become one with it, and that is the power of the water stream. He continues by saying that he has finally become one with the flow and succeeded in controlling it as well. He makes it clear that God has zero control over him, and the destruction he's about to create is of his own free will and his own dream. Sounds cool, right? Well, what he's about to do next is even cooler. Those who have read the webcomic know what's going to come next. This is the utter annihilation of the S-Class heroes. In the webcomic, Garou started off by destroying the S-Class and then fighting Saitama. However, in the manga, they have switched the sequence and added much more, making this god character more relevant to the story. Now that we'll see Garou completely obliterate the S-Class heroes and strike fear in the hearts of everyone present, he might just achieve his goal. With the Gamma Ray attack, Saitama has been written off for a few chapters, and we all know that he isn't actually injured. Obviously, he's probably just stuck somewhere on the other side of the planet, and he will take some time to come back to the scene. And by taking his time, I mean a minute max, and in this time period, it will be more than enough for Garou to annihilate the heroes, cementing his name as the strongest monster in history. Now, don't go anywhere, guys. We have even more that you need to know. You're probably wondering and you're curious about this god character now. Well, don't worry, we have a two-part series being displayed to you right now that you should go binge watch. It explains everything about how this story will end.